Welcome, welcome everyone. I'm here to talk about the authenticity of a brand. So I might as well start with a very confusing term of authenticity. A lot of people think that authenticity is part of somebody else's participation in the perception of your product, service, or solution. I'll repeat that. A lot of people believe that authenticity is the participation of other people's perception in your product, service, or solution, which could be today your personal brand, but it's not. It comes from a basic idea of marketing that you cannot worry or think about or pay attention or give intention to the coincidences that you want about what other people think, what you don't want, or what you don't have. I think it's the biggest mistake in marketing that I've seen over 35 years is that most marketing organizations, marketing agencies are so concerned about what other people think. And I know that's counterintuitive to most people that think about marketing in that respect, but it's just not true. Authenticity is derived by the only authentic thing in the universe. There's only one thing that cannot be duplicated. There's only one thing that is authentic, and it's you. It's your product, solution, or service, or you. And so in order to understand two different components of branding your authenticity, your essence, your energy, your frequency, to allow your product, service, or solution to be discoverable, and to discover the people that are discovering the discoverability of your authenticity, you have to understand Shakespeare. And I know a lot of people that have heard me speak before has heard me talk about Shakespeare's wisdom from thousands of years ago by telling us that the whole world now, I don't know how he knew this back then because it wasn't true, the whole world is your stage. The whole world is your stage means that you now have an opportunity to be far more statistically successful with your authenticity, with the authenticity of your brand, to be discoverable and discover those who have discovered you. There's a community that exists to your essence. There's a community that exists to your frequency, the vibration of your product, solution, or service, or you, depending on what you want to market. There's a frequency, and I commonly use Dr. Pimple Popper as my favorite example because I hate watching pimples being popped. But when I looked up and I discovered Dr. Pimple Popper because she was on Bravo and has this successful TV show, and I'm thinking, why don't I have a successful TV show? My information's far more popular than popping pimples, at least I hope it is. And I found out that not only was Dr. Pimple Popper more accessible and discoverable than David Meltzer, but she was more accessible and discoverable than the NFL and the pro football players in the NFL and the Hall of Famers in the NFL. She has more subscribers on YouTube than the entire aggregate of the NFL Hall of Fame. Why? Because she understands the stage theory. She knows the whole world is my stage, so if I was living in Knoxville, Tennessee, and I only had a 300,000 person community, there would only be so many statistically that would be at my frequency that, excuse my personal opinion, would be freakish enough to like watching pimples being popped. But now that the whole world is her stage, all she focuses in is on her essence, her frequency, who she is, her unique, disgusting personality, her unique solution of value, popping pimples. And what does she do? She only looks within to be an authentic brand, and it's very authentic, to capture her essence with everything she does all day long. She has created a system to capture her essence, not just capture a pretend of her, what other people think, like me, disgusted, not just worried about what's missing or what she doesn't have, that she wants to be like Tony Robbins or she wants to be like Rob Dyrdek on MTV. She's just concerned about, am I capturing who I am? Am I capturing the capabilities, the skills, knowledge, and desire of who I am, my product, service, or solution? Am I capturing that correctly? And the great thing about today, I'm old, is that it's so easy to capture it. When I started building my authenticity, my brand, my frequency, I had to pay $1 million my first year to have a bunch of idiots follow me around with microphones and cameras. And the hypocrisy of having people follow you around with microphones and cameras talking about humility, it wasn't easy to build my authentic brand of gratitude and humility, to help people on a mission, to empower them to make money, help people, and have fun by being their authentic self. See, Shakespeare had it right again when he said, "To thine own self be true," to provide value, service, and solutions to others, to be of service to others, to quantifiably be able to articulate the value of who you are, your product, service, or solution, to exceed what you're asking for by capturing that. Now, as they were talking about before, and I rarely listen in because I don't want it to influence my own speeches, but I had to, when they're talking about the traditional media and people that come from my genre like Sir Martin Sorrell, a billboard is still of value to me. But now I have an exponential value in my authentic frequency, my authentic brand, by putting it up and capturing it on a billboard on the biggest freeway in California, and I still get all the millions of people stuck in traffic in California, which may have been some of you at one time or another, so that you're staring at my triple chin and the John Lovitz looking authenticity that I have, going, "Oh wow, I've never seen that podcast, The Playbook, before. I'd love, maybe I'll board here, maybe I'll download it while I'm in my car and listen to it, or look it up on XM or wherever it is." But what's great about it is I also have people that are capturing my billboard, modifying it to all the platforms, not just the big freeways in California. My billboard is modified so you see it on fan page on Facebook or Instagram Reels or even LinkedIn. And it's authentic. And the whole world now becomes my billboard stage because I know how to modify it to the community that I'm trying to what? Be discovered, not attract. I want to be discoverable, and I also want to discover who's discovering me. Therefore, I can amplify the third step of my authenticity, because your frequency of your product, service, or solution, the frequency of your brand, is your neighborhood. It's not your livelihood, it's your neighborhood. Think about your brand, your product, your solution as a frequency, and you'll realize that it's just a neighborhood, and you want to discover as many neighbors, and you want to be discoverable by as many neighbors at your frequency, so you what? You get more options, more opportunities, and more touches of favor with your brand. You build a community of people who can help you and know people who can help you. Community is the most valuable investment that you can make today. If you want your authentic brand to be utilized, then you need to make a ledger today, especially with the challenges that are available today for us. When I say available, I believe challenges provide opportunity. Recessions are the margins of millionaires. The greatest and best are created during the difficult times, and you have an opportunity now to create a ledger. Is this an investment or is this an expense? Because most of the people are going to see your brand, the spending on your brand, the time, the solution of your brand is an expense. And those people are going to lose out because they are going to lose out 10 times the opportunity that exists because they're looking at what they don't have, what is the resistance in the economy, not the opportunities, options of what they want. Even more importantly is putting the dollars doubled on the investment side. Not only aren't you going to lose 10% by taking care and lowering things that are an expense, and putting them into the investment side of things. 10 times the value today of investing in you. Nothing better to invest in than you. My mom used to say about college, I go, "That's so expensive, I want to drop out, I'm a salesperson, I don't need to go to college." She said, if you're not going to invest in yourself, what are you ever going to invest in? It's time to build your community. By capturing your essence, product, service, solution, or your brand, by modifying it and getting the people around you to know where the discoverability is and how to be discoverable according to the platform that you're modifying it for, and then amplify through a community that you've invested in. The greatest way to amplify your brand is to have a community of sponsors, people who know people to help you, and power sponsors, people that will help you themselves. If you're not investing in your authenticity and your community by investing in your frequency, understanding how to capture it, modify it, and amplify it, you are going to be 10 times 10 exponentially behind those who do. And it's proven, and it takes time. The last thing as I finish up in the last 30 seconds is the final part that most people haven't gotten to, that I find to be the most valuable part of an authentic brand, is the perpetuation of a brand. Only in the last few years has there been a value of perpetuating content as it is today. My own 18-year-old daughter's like, Dad, have you ever seen Friends? That's the value of perpetuating content. So if you're not just capturing, modifying, and amplifying your essence, your brand, your frequency, building your neighborhood and leveraging that to be discoverable and to be discovered of who's discovering you, perpetuate the content in a strategic way so that the community has a free-flowing, and I say free, essence of you that's virtual. So that if someone says, have you ever heard of Dave Meltzer? You'll say, no. Well, check this out. Thank you so much. I'm available to anyone. Be of service and of value.